So as I've been rediscovering vintage SF, I started thinking a little bit about the years 1990 to 2020. Family and career took precedence at that time. I would read on weekends and on holidays. My reading was mostly mystery, thriller, or nonfiction. My favorite author at that time was Michael Connelly, and I read all the Harry Bosch novels. In fact, when Michael Connelly was in town, I purchased this hardcover and he made a little note and signature to us there. But I didn't completely ignore science fiction. I know I was reading novels by Jack McDevitt, Robert J. Sawyer, Michael Crichton, and Peter F. Hamilton, but I don't really have a memorable novel from those writers. But when I think back to these 30 years, I wondered, are there some science fiction novels that I would like to reread and eventually talk to you about? So here are my top 5 SF books to read from 1990 to 2020. Obviously, I didn't read all the science fiction books in that time period, but these 5, actually 6, are books I want to reread. The first 2 are books that I read via audiobooks. During long trips, the family tended to listen to audiobooks, and every once in a while, we threw in a science fiction book. So number 5 is a tie, 2 audiobooks. I would like to read the physical book version of these. This first one actually became a favorite of one of my children. So tied at number 5, we have Adrian Tchaikovsky's The Children of Time from 2015 and Alastair Reynolds' House of Suns, 2008. Both of these novels could be considered hard science fiction. The Children of Time is about bioengineering in new worlds, but this engineering has gone wrong. Spider-like creatures are uplifted. There's a mad scientist AI in a satellite, and a ship of humans has just arrived. What could go wrong? And in House of Suns, we have a galaxy-spanning tale, a tale of clones of one Gentian. These clones are called Shatterlings, and something is hunting and killing the Shatterlings. So that was number 5. Number 4 could have been a couple books by this person. This is a collection of stories. You may be familiar with a film that was made from one of his stories called Arrival. But I'm looking at his latest collection called Exhalation by Ted Chiang, 2019. This is a collection of 9 of his stories. His stories are original, provocative, and often poignant. In one story, we're in ancient Baghdad, where a store has a time portal in the back. It is called The Merchant and the Alchemist's Gate. In another story, Anxiety in the Dizziness of Freedom, Chang examines in the face of alternate universes whether we really do have free choice. Thought-provoking and memorable, these stories will stay with you. Number 3, grab the popcorn and enjoy Daniel H. Wilson's Robopocalypse, 2011. This novel builds to 0 hour when everything changes. Machines rise up. Will humanity survive? This was a very fun and engaging novel, and I feel like it's been overlooked lately. I'm really looking forward to rereading this one. At number 2, we have an alternate history. Set in a world where Germany won World War II, we have a mystery in Berlin. Set in 1964, it is 1 week before Adolf Hitler's 75th birthday celebrations. The naked body of an old man is discovered in a lake just outside of Berlin. Detective Xavier March has to investigate. But will his investigation unravel a terrible conspiracy? If you hadn't guessed, my number 2 reread is Fatherland by Robert Harris, 1992. And the number 1 book that I'd like to reread is a story of time travel. It may be my favorite time travel story. It is 11/22/63 by Stephen King, copyright 2011. What if you could prevent the death of JFK? A teacher goes back in time and has the opportunity to prevent Lee Harvey Oswald from ever murdering JFK. Now that's the hook. But the beauty of this story is the nostalgia of the 1960s. It's like he's left black and white world of the present and gone into a vivid color world of the 1960s. Will he be able to prevent the assassination? Well, you'll have to read to find out. I've actually reread this book once already, so this will be my third time reading this book. So let's review. I have a tie at number 5. I have House of Suns by Alistair Reynolds and Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. At number 4, I have a collection of short stories by Ted Chiang called Exhalation. Number 3 is the popcorn book Robopocalypse by Daniel H. Wilson. Number 2, The Alternate History Fatherland by Robert Harris. And number 1, 11/22/63 by Stephen King. So, have you read any of these books? Would you agree that they are SF books worthy of rereading? How about you? Do you have some favorites from 1990 to 2020? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep reading.